Hello and welcome to Boozy Book Reports, a simple podcast where we visit childhood classics while drinking copious amounts of alcohol. We're your hosts, Beth
and Sam.
And this month we're reporting on the literary classic Dear Diary #1, The Party by Carrie Randall, first published in 1989. You're welcome.
Literary classics a strong
statement.
Yeah, I might disagree.
It was for me. So this is literally a book that I owned. That the copy I have has my name in it that I wrote in 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it at the Scholastic Book Fair.
Oh,
this was a big deal.
That is a big deal.
I'm pretty sure I probably used like savings or babysitting money or something to get this book, and I have fond memories of it sitting on my desk.
Yes,
I do not remember any of it. While I was reading it,
did anything come back?
Nothing came back from the book, but it was like a muscle memory for my soul.
Okay.
Like I was in 3rd grade again, but I didn't remember any of the book. So that's, it was like an impression. I had an impression of the book, but didn't really remember any of the book.
To be fair, the plot is, in the words of the Big Lebowski, the plot is ludicrous.
I strongly disagree. It is very plausible.
Okay. It is plausible. It is silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, it does kind of drone on a bit in places. But I do remember reading it and giggling in my bed.
Yes.
As an adult, because it was making me think of 3rd grade Beth.
That's
so,
fine. I like the trip down memory road.
And that's what this podcast is really about. Triggering our childhood trauma.
I was really worried you were going to say memories there for a second, and I was going to have to correct that. But no. Trauma.
Yeah, trauma. So before we get into all of it,
yes,
we're going to get into some drinks. Because it will help the situation for sure.
100%. I will loosen way up for this. So we have made 2 delicious cocktails. We're going to start the first. So there's a little bit of a theme here with boozy food. So drinky, eaty things together.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first one we're going to talk about is a boozy root beer float. Because what's more 3rd grade than a root beer float? Also, it's summer, root beer float.
Yeah. I'm here for it. But you need to describe it because it's not just a root beer float.
Well, it's a boozy root beer float. So this was actually, I have to admit, made for me by a friend who, so thanks, Kat. I'm also lactose intolerant. So, yeah.
Same. And I already have a stomach ache. So, bottoms up, girlfriend.
My stomach sang the song of its people for like 3 days after I drank the first one. So it's 2 ounces of a root beer liqueur. So we used Dr. McGillicuddy's, which I have a close personal relationship with Dr. McGillicuddy from college. The apple pie.
Okay.
It's rough.
What is there an apple? Do they make like unique liqueurs?
They just kind of make like boozy flavors that are like not, there's like, one's like an apple pie, one's root beer, one's, I can't remember, there's like a 3rd one that they had at the liquor store, but the apple pie one is quite delicious, and we maybe just put into mugs, microwaved, and drank it straight in college.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a choice.
That was a night that ended with college-age Sam sprawled out on the couch singing Adele's Someone Like You. And
no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And then maybe, not keeping the apple pie down. So
okay,
it was a rough night. But anyway,
Dr.
McGillicuddy's root beer, I can drink. And so it's booze root beer, a regular root beer, and 2 scoops of ice cream.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Oh, that's dangerous. I don't taste any liquor at all.
I know.
And I always can taste liquor.
It's low ABV. So it's not going to like get you rip roaring. I had just the other day with one shot in it, and it was like nothing. I mean, I actually kind of have a low tolerance for as much as supposedly I drink.
Yummy.
And I was fine. Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to tell you put this down because this is good, and I'm drinking more than I should, and I literally had 2 tablespoons.
Yes. Beth was like, can you please stop putting in the ice cream and just a little of the juice, please?
Exactly, because I know my body. This is fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It is
I'm happy as a clam right now.
This is like, I think the ideal right here of like childhood, like brought into adulthood.
Yeah.
A boozy root beer float that you can enjoy on a porch.
On a summer day. Like, yes, please. Okay, number 2, I'm very excited about. This was such a cute idea.
So I was at the liquor store the other day, and we've talked about these because we've seen these online before. They had the popping boba. the little like booze filled popping boba. So like if you go to like a frozen yogurt place, or you go get like, if you go get boba tea or milk tea, they'll often have these little popping boba you can put at the bottom of your drinks. And they had peach liqueur ones. So we made what we're calling the lava lamp. So it's kind of a riff on a Sex on the Beach, which is not third grade appropriate.
Not third grade appropriate.
So it's the lava lamp. It is orange juice, a little bit of grenadine, vodka, peach schnapps, and these peachy little pearls. So hopefully it's good.
Oh, it's really good. That's delicious.
Yeah, that's problematic.
It's so refreshing. Oh, crap.
I got some of the pearls.
The pearls were good. We tested them ahead of time, and they were really fun. And when they pop, it does taste like liquor.
Yeah, kind of peachy, little peachy schnapsy type thing. Kind of tastes like a peach buzzball.
It's an elevated buzzball. That's good.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
I love peach schnapps.
Ooh.
I am an old woman at heart. Peach schnapps in any drink will make me like, I'll be like, ooh, let's go.
I already feel happier.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's good.
Wow. Okay. So, in case nobody's read this book, Sam's going to read the back of the book, and then I'm going to give some fun facts I found out, because this book is a doozy.
Yep. Even as I write this down, diary, it seems like something impossible has happened. Popular Samantha Howard being nice to me? Am I suddenly getting cooler as she sees it? Does she notice something different and sophisticated in my new walk? I think it has to be something like that. And I think it means I'm on my way, maybe into the cool crowd. Samantha wants me to have a slumber party and invite her. I always knew Samantha Howard wasn't all mean, but my very best friend Nancy hates Samantha and her friends. Will Nancy come to the party if Samantha is here?
The absolute drama that is this book.
Yeah, the shade of it all.
Seriously. Okay. So I did a deep dive on this book. Number one, I was trying to find the audio version. Does not exist, because this is from 1989 and nobody cares.
Nobody's just read this for fun?
Yeah.
Out loud?
And then I was doing a little digging. And first of all, this is not just one book. This is a series of 6.
Yes.
The Party, The Secret, The Dance, The Roommate, The Mystery, and The Lie.
I discovered this when I was left on a freaking cliffhanger.
Yes.
And I was like, do I have to read more of this?
You're like, no.
No.
So I was trying to just do a little research and find out about the author, Carrie Randall, which I found out is not a real person. It's a scholastic in-house pseudonym.
This is like one of the, there was another book we read. Oh, go ask Alice. But
yeah, but Sweet Valley Twins was a pseudonym.
Yeah.
And so the author, I found a random blog from years ago by this woman named Candace Ransom, and she claims she wrote the series and a bunch of other scholastic books in that time frame.
Do we believe this?
I do, based on her blog. She's written a lot of this style of book, of a really inexpensive paperback that was really marketed at the scholastic book fairs.
Okay.
And again, this I mean, I was happy about it.
I do want to point out that this is like, when I was reading this, I kind of realized like, oh, I hate. I told my friend I was like reading it, and I was like, I hate this style of book. But the fact
sorry, Bubba has made his entrance.
Yeah, the cat disagrees with me on this.
Yes, but
it is in a way its own like little subgenre of like teen girl literature. Well, it's not even teen. It's like
it's teen girl literature
pre-tween
for elementary school girls.
Yes,
it's middle school literature for elementary students.
Yeah, because like the stuff she's describing, I don't think are things that really happen in middle school. Were they?
Yeah.
I mean, there were sleepovers and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the way it's written and described, it's definitely for like much younger girls.
Yes. And I think that this is what it is. Yeah. Scholastic targeted elementary students to be like, look at these cool 6th graders.
Yeah.
You could be like them, 3rd grader, Beth.
The height of cool.
I also want to say,
yes,
this is one of those situations where the character's name was Elizabeth. I'm an Elizabeth.
I'm Samantha.
And you're Sam. Samantha, yeah. And as I was reading, I forgot that the mean girl in the book is called Samantha, Sam. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, this book was made for us. It's incredible.
Am I a mean girl?
No, but the fact that like our names are both in it, like
That's
this
true.
Might be the only time we read a book that both of our names are in the book.
Is that true? Because I thought there was a Lizzie and Dear Samantha. in the American Girl book.
I never read that.
Oh, no, it's Nellie.
Nellie. It was Nellie.
The poor friend is
literally
Nellie.
have read that book on the podcast.
We literally read it together.
It was not a Lizzie though. Yeah.
I'm going to look because I think that there is an Elizabeth.
Maybe that will be the next season of Boozy Book Reports. Just books that have our names shared together.
We're out of it. We don't have any books. We're through everything we read as kids.
Yeah. And we're just being completely narcissistic.
But,
so.
and like, books with horses.
Yes. Well,
That's
okay.
it.
So this book is set in the 6th grade.
Yes.
It's right before 6th grade is starting. We have a few main characters, but our primary person her name's Lizzie and Elizabeth, and she's very excited to go into 6th grade. She has a best friend named Nancy, who's a character.
Nancy's a little quirky girl.
She's very quirky.
She doesn't want to grow up.
No, she's happy. She's just like, I don't want to be like the other girls, but not like other girls fashion.
Oh yeah, no, she's very like, I just do what I do.
Yeah.
Not like I'm, exactly. I'm not like other girls.
Yeah, she's just her own unique person,
Yeah.
which we will discover why along the way. And so they're like headed to school, and they're like stopping by this like stationery store right before school starts, and like to get Nancy some supplies. Which could you imagine going to like a stationery store before school one day and just grabbing stuff? I would have freaking loved it.
I would have lost my mind. I would have come out with like, we had this discussion about what is the intervention you need that's like harmless, and it was like, Sam, you need to stop buying notebooks and then not putting any thoughts in them.
Yeah.
Because you think that they're not too beautiful for your ugly thoughts.
Oh, gosh.
But I've done this a lot.
Oh, yeah. I have full on like boxes of stationery. That might be extreme.
You also have a stationery store.
That's true. That's true.
So you have bought cases.
But I have stuff from my kid. Like this stuff is now 30 plus years
old.
old.
Yes.
Eraser sets, which I'm like, they can't be good. But would I deign to ever use one? No, because they're beautiful and I love them.
I was going through my old desk. So my parents still have my old desk in their house. It's my great-grandmother's sewing machine. So eventually it will come to my house. But I was going through it because it was my desk as a kid. And I have like a box of old, like it's very 70s, like browns and reds and golds on the like, it's stationery with those colors as the border and like a lot of like floral motifs. Ooh. But I, as a kid, like savored it basically. I was like, nothing I could write would be worthy of this gorgeous paper. Oh. And now I look at it and I'm like, that's some 70s ass shit. And how is that paper even still with us?
Right.
But I
don't understand it. I don't understand it, the madness, but we're here for it. So at the stationery store, Lizzie sees this ivory, beautiful diary with a little lock on it. And I had these diaries. They're little tiny diaries. They were like 1,000,000 pages, and they usually had gold or silver on the edges. And they had a little lock that broke immediately because,
Okay, I had that, but mine had like Lisa Frank aliens on it.
Okay. Mine
had
I was
a few years younger than you, so I was in the Lisa Frank era.
I would have loved to have a Lisa Frank one. I had a plain blue one, and I had one that was white with balloons on it.
Mine was Lisa Frank color scheme.
Yes.
2 aliens riding in like a VW bug giving peace signs.
That's incredible.
Literally could not come
That's
up
incredible.
with like a more late 90s, early 2000s like
That's
motif.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's where I wrote down all my thoughts.
Well, I have some of those thoughts today from myself because I know I have more entries into these journals, but I found one of the diary entries from probably the era of 5th grade going into 6th grade. So I would have been Lizzie's age when I wrote this. And it says, it's on July 26th. I don't have the year, but it would have been like 1990, 91-ish maybe. And it says, "Dear Diary, you know what my dream guy is? Well, he's 5'6".
Oddly specific.
Captain of the basketball team, the football team, and the wrestling team.
Okay. Only one of those is a possibility because I'm here to tell you, 5'6" is not the basketball captain nor the football captain, but he could be the wrestler.
Yeah, maybe in 6th grade though. This is
6th grade. I thought you meant like forever.
Well, it was forever, but my forever only lasted until like 7th grade. It says, he's smart, funny, very cute, sweet, and protective. Oh. He is half black, half Hispanic. His dad is black and in a band, and his mom works at the hospital. I think that God will/might give me a boyfriend like that. Well, got a jet. Love always, Beth.
So how many of those are still how many of those do you want to like check off?
Zero of those. My new list is like, I want someone that just leaves me alone.
I've been having this conversation with a colleague of ours, and she keeps talking about dating, and she goes on to a new position, and that why would I date anybody? Nobody is as fun to hang out with as me.
Exactly.
I was like,
it's so true.
You're so quickly becoming a hermit, but this is...
It's so true, though. Yes, it's true. Okay.
I get it.
So the story really kicks off once Lizzie gets this diary, because she's just writing in it because she's a new sophisticated lady going into 6th grade.
She has literally turned a new leaf.
Yes, like her and Nancy used to always ride bikes to school together. Now she's like, I can't ride a bike to school because I'm going to wear like a skirt and I'm going to dress up and I'm going to be beautiful and pretty now.
Did you, I feel like every beginning of the school year, I had like this moment for a whole 2 days, basically as long as I could function using a planner, where I was like, I am a new woman.
Oh, absolutely.
I will clean my room. I will wear cool clothes.
Yeah.
And I will not fall for all the boys.
Yeah.
And then like by Wednesday, I was like, I don't use a planner. Fuck this. Let's go. I will throw all my stuff in a trapper keeper.
I always had the moment of like the perfect outfit for the first day.
Yes, 100%.
6th grade.
Yeah.
And I feel like I may have shared this before, but it's worth sharing again. I'm coming to school, purple stirrup pants, dark purple.
Perfect.
Tulip printed top with bright colored, not neon, but like neon-esque tulip.
Rich colors.
Very rich colors, very bright. And it's kind of like blooms out a little bit. So it's not quite a sundress or anything like that.
But it's the one that covers your butt a little because
Just
you're wearing
little bit,
leggings.
but not a lot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going into 6th grade. I need a purse. And my mom had taken me to the Woolworths at the mall where you used to be able to eat a meal and go shopping, which we never did because we were didn't have a lot of money, but we went to the Woolworths and I think I had babysitting money and we went and I bought a purse and it was a long strap burgundy purse and I had it on my shoulder and I walk into school and no one else has a purse at all, even close to it. So I had to walk the whole day with this stupid purse.
Yeah.
And then the purse never made another like appearance at school ever again.
I don't remember what I wore for 6th grade. I have a picture of it somewhere because I sent you all my school day pictures. But I do remember my 7th grade picture. So I wore I got also a purse. It was the mud purse era where
yep.
I had a mud purse. And then I had these silver pants from Target that were like silver jeans.
Oh, gosh.
And I had a purple striped shirt with silver accents, like a mock turtleneck tank top, which was,
amazing.
Of that era.
Amazing.
Pastel purple eyeshadow.
Oh, you were it.
I looked a dream.
Just so many things.
A lot of purple and silver.
Silver.
Which to this day I still rock like a mofo, but whatever.
Well, there's a certain confidence that comes
on day one
that just quickly gets diminished
by like second period.
Yes. So I kind of love Lizzie's family. So she comes from this really big family.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of kids. The dad is works at a food company and is inventing food all the time. She was like, sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. One day we had milkshake waffles. The next day he had toaster clam rolls. And you're just like, okay, gross.
I thought that was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
I did like that he was also like, this is part of the family business. Y'all need to try this stuff. Tell me what you think.
Test it out, please.
Yeah.
So she has a couple older brothers and a couple younger siblings. And anyway, she decides that this is her year to just really take it to the next level. And she's just really pumped for it. She's ready. I forgot to say, she also has a grandma that lives in the attic who's very cool. She's like best friends with her.
They have the same name, but she goes by Bessie.
Yeah, no, thank you. I remember when I was born. I don't remember when I was born, actually. But when I was born, I at some point, somebody had made my mom like this piece of art that had my name, Elizabeth, in the middle. And then all of the different nicknames I could go by in my life. Betty and Liz and Lizzie. And there's a lot. So anywho, so it's like she kind of gets through her first week at school and it's a Saturday and it's time to do chores and she's cleaning out her bedroom and she's like, I need a makeover. this bedroom is not it. I need to redo this bedroom. Come to find out, she used to be a horse girl.
Yeah. I identified strongly with this. Also, it was her age when I redid my bedroom as horses. What were your bedroom themes?
So I was a big decorating kid. So at 10 years old for my birthday, I asked for this like pastel dark blue lamp. And I remember saving up money to help buy an armoire later on that was white. It was like super cheap. What's the board everything's made out of? That's
particle board.
Particle board. And it was £1 million and it had like the white plastic on the outside and it had these white handles and had gold tips on the handles. And I thought I was so classy. I had the desk with a hutch and then I got the matching armoire and I thought, my shit don't stink.
Yeah. You are the height of sophistication.
And I had my mom put up tulip wallpaper that were in pastel blues. I guess I was a tulip girl.
Yeah.
I got a day bed at some point. I was fancy AF.
Yeah, you were.
I don't know how they swung it, but I always was redecorating my room and all of those things. But that was my vibe in like this age range.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was a whole thing. Lizzie has a very different aesthetic. Yes. She's cottagecore.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
She's like, let's get gingham.
Gingham. Patchwork quilt.
Yeah.
Cute little floral lamps.
It's pretty cute. Yeah, she is. She would be very cool right now. She's cottagecore.
She's very cool. So she decides she wants to redo her room and she's going to go to like the local market and get some magazines to get inspo pictures.
Exactly. Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah, which I can relate to as a kid. Like I used to love looking at magazines and catalogs.
I still do. There is.
You have an obsession with.
Yes, I do. I'm going to talk about it. I love mail catalogs. And I also love the magazine Atomic Ranch.
Yes, you do.
Which Beth has received several copies of.
Yes.
It is a fantastic magazine. I recommend looking at your local library. Go through Libby. Otherwise, it's quite expensive. But it is a all mid-century modern home decor. Fucking love it.
I spent a lot of times laying on my tummy at my grandma's house with the TV on, looking at her Pennies catalog, the one that was like 18 inches thick.
Yeah.
And deciding like when I'm an adult, I'm going to have this type of couch and
we used
this
to
bedding.
cut them out and like make collages of the things we wanted. We used to look at Finger Hut. That was like a mail catalog that my parents used to get. Finger Hut. I used to spend a lot of time reading through like at my grandma's. It was Western Horseman magazines and all the like horse, like the Cruel Girl, like catalogs to see like all the horse swag I could get.
I have a very faint memory of my brother and I looking at catalogs together, and I would be on the left side and he'd be on the right. And like, we can only pick from our own sides. In our wildest fantasies of choosing what we want in life, you only get what's on the right side and I only get what's on the left. So,
do you know what magazine Lizzie would love?
What?
The Vermont Country Store.
Oh my gosh.
She would go
She would just be so happy.
Yes.
So
I love
happy.
that magazine too.
Well, her little venture does not make her happy because as soon as she gets there, there's two mean girls, Samantha and then Candace, and they're looking at makeup. And I just loved it because they're like, ooh, très chic. Like they're just so.
I like in my mind, I was like, they're probably like, très chic. But maybe they heard it on Sally Jesse Raphael. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Très chic.
Poor Lizzie's like, I should go say something. I don't want them to think I'm mean or something. I'm going to go say something. And she goes up to them and they literally just like completely ignore her. Like, do not acknowledge.
No.
Like, I think that's the worst of mean girl behavior is when you just completely ignore someone and don't acknowledge their existence.
That's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even like, oh, get out of here, scrub.
Yeah.
No, it's.
Or like, yeah, those shoes are cute. Like, nothing like that.
Clown.
Yeah. So Lizzie's a little heartbroken and she leaves and she's like walking back home, which again, I love it's the era that you could walk around to stores and things as a kid and you're fine. Nobody's tracking you.
It was absolutely how it was when we were kids too. Because we were like in a small town, right? And like I think the most is like we had to come home when the street lights came on.
Yeah.
And we couldn't leave the subdivision unless we asked. And then, but that was like you would leave the subdivision to go get like to go to the grocery store. So sometimes when my mom had like a chocolate craving or something, she'd send us out to the grocery store and we'd walk to the grocery store to go get cosmic brownies.
Oh, nice.
But like it was just like normal. A bunch of 11-year-olds walking around getting day old donuts and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of felt for Lizzie in this moment because we find out how much she thinks about Sam. She has a serious girl crush.
Yeah, she really wants to be part of the crew.
She just thinks she's so cool. And Sam's a year older because she like was on the cusp of starting school.
Yeah.
So she's older and cooler, but not, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so Lizzie's walking home and her brother, who I just picture on like a BMX bike, comes like racing up to her and then stops, looking cool with like some long hair and I don't know.
He's got a card in there, so it makes that noise.
That noise, yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, he has a message for her, and like instantly after, like Sam runs up to her and is like, hey, like, how are you doing? Like, oh, like, you know, just kind of making small talk. What do you think about the school year? And then she's like, we should have lunch sometime next week.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, interesting.
Lizzie thinks that this is like the end. Like maybe Samantha did see something in her.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
I do too. And she's so stoked about it though. She goes and tells her best friend Nancy.
Yeah.
And Nancy's not impressed.
She gives so zero shit.
She's just like, why do you care about these people? Blah, blah, blah. This is dumb.
Yeah.
Get your life together.
Just go back to riding our bikes and like doing the stuff we like doing.
Mm-hmm. So kind of like there's this whole side quest that we go on with Nancy and her dad.
Yes.
Because Nancy and her dad, her parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Her dad lives in Detroit now.
Yes.
And she goes and visits him. And this man just fills all the time with activities.
He's like trying to make up for like lost time. So he's like, we're going to do all these things. We're going to go to the theater. We're going to go to this nice dinner. We're going to do all this stuff. I made reservations. I bought tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nancy's not feeling it. And she just does not want to go.
Yes.
Like it's every time it's too much. Like Lizzie's listening, but Lizzie only cares about Sam at this point. So Lizzie's like, why is this even a problem? Yeah. And Lizzie's like, has a bunch of siblings. So she's like, I would love the attention.
Yeah. She even says something kind of like shitty. She's like, yeah, I'd really be upset if my dad took me to nice Japanese steakhouses too. And so she's like kind of bitchy about it. And, you know, like, wham, 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 poor little rich girl.
Yeah.
But it's like a hard thing on Nancy because like
very hard.
They get into it later that like Nancy doesn't feel like really seen or understood or even like acknowledged by her father.
Yes. Well, and I love that Nancy was like, hey, you don't think it's a problem? Come with me next time.
Yeah.
And so Lizzie's like, okay, cool. Like, I guess.
Sure.
So the next day, again, this has all happened now in like 6 chapters. It really did take its time setting everything up.
There was a lot. You know what it kind of reminded me of? Frankly, this is what I thought it reminded me of Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Stalking. It was not as bad.
Yeah.
Like that really dragged. Like absolutely nothing happened in that book. But it was a little bit like
it just took its time.
All right.
Building.
Cool. Great details. Let's move on.
Yeah. Again, for a 3rd grader, wonderful world building. Like
oh my God. World building.
So the next day, Nancy's at a school at the orthodontist. And like, I just love the description that is of the lunch that is being served the day that Nancy's not there and that Lizzie ends up eating lunch with Sam, is that they had a lunch of fish croquettes with creamed onions and tapioca pudding for dessert. I'm sorry?
I would eat that.
I don't even know what a fish croquette is, but it sounds disgusting.
It's a fish stick. A croquette's just a little fried thing, breaded and fried. It's a fish stick.
I'm so uncultured.
Well, you know, if you went to fancy Japanese steakhouses with Nancy.
Well, Dear Diary is clearly like the epitome of middle school class.
It is. No, like croquettes are just like croquetas or whatever.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I thought they were round balls for some reason.
Sometimes they are and sometimes they're tubies.
Okay, look at me learning things. Thanks, Dear Diary, 1989.
Exactly. The more you know.
So Lizzie's eating, and so Sam's like, hey, you should come have lunch with us. And so, you know, they just get chit-chatting, and Lizzie's sharing about how she wants to redo her room. And Sam's like, oh my gosh, I could totally help you. We should go to the mall. And Lizzie's like, well, my grandma was going to take me and help me pay for it. And Sam's just like, well, just get the money from her. Like, just ask her for the money. And Lizzie's like, but
I like my gram.
I want to spend time with her. And Sam's like, but we could go together. And so, yeah, that starts her down a new path. Nancy comes back and like, now Lizzie's so excited to tell her all about lunch with Sam. And Nancy gets very upset for a very specific reason. Somebody
has missed the perm.
Yes.
Somebody like not just dental work, but also hair work.
A perm. A Sigourney Weaver perm, as stated in the book. Like, oh my gosh, that's such a look. Like
that's still what my mom rocks to this day.
Oh,
right?
I did not know that.
She gets the super tight, like she gets a really tight perm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The only perm experience I have ever had was that it must have been like early 90s, 91, 92.
Yeah.
And my mom had bleach blonde her hair, like at home. Oof. Because she didn't have a lot of, they were saving money.
Yeah.
And then she had my dad give her a perm on top of the bleached blonde. And so I just remember them sitting at the dining room table. My dad is just like rolling my mom's hair up in these perm things, and they did it. And literally my mom's hair just fell out.
I was going to say, I'm surprised your mom has hair to this day.
Yeah.
That feels like
it fell out.
Extreme.
And she didn't have like, we think blonde now. It wasn't that. It was yellow blonde.
Like the peroxide or even like...
No, it wasn't orangey blonde. It was just...
yellow blonde.
It was yellow blonde from the 90s. And I just remember that we had to go to like a Great Clips or something after, and she got a haircut to fix it, and they gave her like a David Bowie. And it was just like, I felt so bad for the woman to go from like 3 bad hair choices in a row. It was really rough.
That's the style these days, right? The wolf cut, which is just a mullet.
Yeah, but this was not it. It was David Bowie Starship.
Oh no!
With the like you know, the silver face. Yeah, but Nancy was excited about her perm, and again, she was very offended.
Well, Sigourney Weaver's a very cool person, so I can see
especially in '89.
Appeal. Yeah.
So then she goes up to Graham's attic, and she's like, "Graham, I need money." But she says it in a nice way. And the grandma's so sweet. She's like, I just want you to be happy, and gives her $60. Which in like 1989 is a
crap ton of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
So Lizzie meets up with Sam and they go to the mall, and Lizzie's so excited because she wants to go to the country shop.
Yeah, she wants to go to the Cracker Barrel basically and go get some gingham for her cottage.
But like Sam is like, absolutely not. We're going to go to Freak Out.
Yes.
Which is like a quintessential 80s store, neon, vinyl, like couches.
I would have eaten this
lava
shit
lamps.
Up. Even in the 2000s, I would have bought the crap out of this stuff.
I bought a lava lamp. I was older.
Yeah.
I had a lava lamp. It was blue and it had like little green bulbs. And I just remember watching it. First of all, those suckers get hot.
Yeah, they do.
They're kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Mine definitely, like, I had a lime green one. It definitely like got it overheated and like all the stuff, all the goo just kind of like solidified.
Oh, that's not fun. Yeah. I just remember having it we had like we called it the music room.
Yeah.
And like I would have parties out there with my friends, and I had painted it black and had like black light posters that my parents had from like the 60s.
Sick.
And then I had my lava lamp, and I just like had my friends out there and party. And
like that is, I still think lava lamps are pretty cool.
I think they look fun.
Yeah.
There's actually somebody on TikTok, I think I follow them, and they just do like, they restore vintage lava lamps.
That's
which
sick.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but they do.
There's like some really cool people who do like cool lamps. Have you ever seen, there's a Instagram, she has a website too called Mexikish. She like kitschy.
Yeah.
She does like these cool lamps that are made out of like epoxy and resin and things, but they're all like 60s casseroles.
Oh, that's cool.
And or like Jello salads, but they're all resin, and she puts lamps in them. They are so cool.
Fun.
Yeah. I really like I like a good arts, like a cheeky lamp.
I love it when you can put a piece like that in the right way that it makes sense in your house, but doesn't look
like
tacky.
You bought a Jello salad lamp.
Yes, there we go.
Which I would absolutely buy.
So under Sam's influence, Lizzie buys like all of this stuff that she's not really into, and then they buy lime green paint. And they start to head home, and as they're leaving the mall, they see at the ice cream shop that Graham is sitting with Nancy having a little ice cream.
Which I thought was so sweet. I felt bad for Nancy.
I felt so bad for Nancy.
Graham,
I can only imagine like Nancy showing up at the house on Saturday to hang out with her friend, and they have to say, oh, she's not here, and Graham sees her face drop, and she'd like, I'm making all of this up.
Oh, but, sweetie, we'll just go get ice cream, you and me.
Yeah, and it's so cute. And so anyway, but like, they don't even, like, Nancy doesn't wave at her or anything. She just sees them and kind of,
she looks away. She like actively like refuses to look.
Mm-hmm. So then they go home and they start decorating. They paint the walls lime green.
Which my mom never would have let me do, but okay.
Also, her room is underneath the stairs.
It's very Harry Potter.
It's very Harry Potter. So I'm, picturing this really small room, lime green, which is a loud color, not soothing. It. All of this, like, very, like a lava lamp. And then, like, I thought they bought leopard bedding, right?
It was
or
something like very exotic. Yeah. Very, like, loud. Yeah. In a very tight space.
Very tight space.
Not feng shui.
Given real late 80s MTV vibes.
Yes.
And she doesn't like it at all. And she spent all this money on it.
Because it's not who she is.
No.
I mean, this is like obviously to the adult reader, it's pretty obvious that she's like fronting just to try to like impress this girl, this lady. But like she wanted the gingham. She wanted these things. She wants to hang out with Graham. She wants to eat ice cream with Nancy. Mm-hmm. But she's like also sort of convinced herself that she needs to be this more adult, sophisticated person, which I think we all kind of did.
We all go through that.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the point where you like chop all the hair off all your Barbies because you're like in this way you're like not a girl, not yet a woman. You know, you're like trying to figure out what does it mean to be an adult woman.
It's a weird transition.
Yeah,
it's a very hard transition.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes I feel that way now, even of like, I need to be a better lady.
Yeah.
I need to have
more sophisticated.
I should be more
sophisticated.
I should know what a croquette is at my age. Okay. I should be throwing tea parties and like drinking mimosas or a glass of wine on the weekends.
We could just drink a mimosa. You do not have to have a tea party.
No, but sometimes it just feels like I need to elevate my game. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to sit here and play Animal Crossing for, 8 hours.
That's the joy of adulthood.
It is, but it's a different kind of adulthood than I envisioned.
Does it make you happy?
Depends on the day.
Okay.
But anyway, this is not making her happy. And it's just really sad. But so anyway, the family starts coming down and they're like, this is disgusting. Like her siblings are like, not great. And as Sam and Lizzie are kind of showing off, Adam, Lizzie's older brother, comes in and like Sam is instantly like giggling and like making eyes at him.
It took me a while to realize what was happening here, but like 100%. The only reason Samantha's hanging out is because she thinks that Lizzie's older brother, Adam, is cute.
Yes. And so Sam is like, Lizzie, we should have like a slumber party to christen this room. And so Lizzie's like, cool.
True story. Girls I went to middle school with them, and then in high school, definitely slumber party, hooked up with the brother, and they had 3 kids later, but
oh, good for them. But wow.
No.
Oh, it wasn't good for okay, just kidding. Take it back, take it back.
Babies was in high school.
Okay.
Not shaming teen pregnancy. It's a thing that happens,
But this was
oh yeah, this was the end of their
drama.
Is the end of their friendship.
Oh, that's very awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully I had a younger brother. It was Sydney.
Yeah. Though we still used to make jokes about like my best friend marrying. Wouldn't it be like cool if my best friend married my brother? Because then we'd be like sisters for real. And my mom even threatened or offered to give Cookie the dining room table if they got married. But Cookie married Morgan, who I love, and Keith married Elisa, who I also love. So everything worked out. But
Yeah. I can't remember ever having like a crush on somebody's older. I didn't have any friends with older siblings I had a crush on. So I guess that's good. That's good.
No, all my friends had like younger brothers who were kind of gross. Yeah, I think I didn't have any crushes on brothers.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wonder if my brother had crushes on my friends. Actually, my little brother, I had a slumber party around the time that I got this book. It was like 2nd or 3rd grade. And I had I'm going to put a picture up because it's so cute. It's like me and all my 3rd grade friends. And like, my little brother fell in love with this girl named Lacey.
Aww.
And he was so smitten with her. And I think he must have been like 3 at the time because I was probably 8. And anyway, and he just hung out with us and we have the cutest pictures, like all of the girls at the slumber party. And then there's my little brother, Jake. And it's so freaking cute. It was very different than this, but so sweet.
But that's like the right of, like my brother used to be the one that got to come because I was allowed to have guys sometimes at sleepovers, but they had to stay with my brother.
Yeah.
And that was like my brother always got to come to the sleepovers because like I would have mixed gendered friends and then he would get to like, so it'd be everybody hanging out and then my brother being like, yay. But I'm pretty sure Keith had a crush on Courtney when we were all in school.
Interesting.
My best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was definitely a joke about it, but it was like very innocent.
Sweet,
like
puppy love crush.
Puppy love.
Super
like,
innocent. Yeah.
Cookie's really pretty sort of things.
That's so cute. Well, the slumber party idea gets squashed pretty fast because Lizzie is failing history. And Mom's like, unless you can get that grade up.
Absolutely not.
She's fighting with Nancy at this point. They make up again. They go to this weekend with her dad. And Lizzie does get a better understanding. Yes. And at one point she wanted to have a conversation with Nancy's dad, kind of, and like, it was very weird.
She kind of helps Nancy talk through like one of the issues with her dad at one point and I think she like offers to use like cue cards or something.
Yes.
But she does kind of understand that like she does help Nancy talk through and try to understand, realizing that the issue isn't that they don't do stuff, it's that they don't do things that seem meaningful and that it's just super packed. And so she does help her kind of explain that and talk through things with her dad. And
so I thought that was a nice moment of friendship, girl friendship.
Yeah. And also it did show that like Lizzie is, while not the most emotionally mature, she does have her moments.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. They kind of make up, or they do make up. Nancy's helping her now to get her grade up. And she's just like, Nancy's like intense.
Yeah.
She honestly, that's the vibe I thought maybe you might have had in school, because she just was so smart and so intense and like, get it done, study, go, do it. Were you a studier or were you?
Yeah. So it's like kind of funny because like sometimes I was like in class, I was very talkative because I liked talking to my friends. But like when I was doing my homework or when I thought when we had a group project or something, I was very like, oh, we are doing this right now. This is what we are doing.
Yeah.
And so there were times when I would like study and stuff where I was like very, focused and very on. But like at school, I was kind of a chuckle fuck.
Okay. I just think that you were someone that probably read like your books. Like the textbooks.
Yeah, I remember like when I found out that people didn't read, even like finding out my siblings didn't read their like English books. I was like, there was like one time I didn't read before a test and I felt really bad and then I didn't do great, but it wasn't bad because I kind of knew the plot. So like, I don't understand why you guys aren't reading your books. They're like kind of enjoyable. And so, yeah, I like did all my homework. That was actually true in high school.
Mm-hmm.
In middle school, no, I was a mess. So I think there was a lot going on in my life, and I think I didn't really understand I didn't understand a lot of things, and I just kind of wasn't doing well. And I also this should have been a sign about the ADHD. I didn't do my homework for like a good chunk of 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
And I got threatened. They had a thing at the end of the year called the homework dance, and you had to turn in like almost all of your homework assignments, right? Had to have like some 99% of your homework assignments in or something, or you couldn't go to the dance. And if you know me, if there's music on, I am
You're out there on the floor.
I freaking love dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I am terrible at it. Kevin once told me that what I lack in ability, I make up for in enthusiasm.
I have to say, I've been at dance parties with you, and you're not a bad dancer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very awkward, and it helps with some booze. But I basically got threatened. I couldn't go to this dance, and I lost my. I just lost my cookies. I was so sad. I was super upset. And so at some point, I don't know if my mom convinced the principal or like, I think she might have just said to the principal, like, Sam's really tore up about this. And he was like, this is not an issue. And so I got to sit in the principal's conference room for like a full day and just finish my homework assignments.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He let me do that, which is really nice of him. But then I did get to go to the dance and I never made that mistake again. Yeah. Because I was like, yeah, I was like, don't you dare threaten taking away my dance. And I had a date and I overdressed for it. I wore like a very formal dress and everybody else just wore jeans and a t-shirt.
That's so on brand.
Yes, 100%. Nothing has changed. We're like supposed to do this like toga party thing for a Frisbee tournament. And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I already bought a rainbow sequin jumpsuit. Fuck you guys, wear your own togas. I'm wearing my jumpsuit. And the response to from my friend was, okay, pop off queen, which I will. Thank you.
You will, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lizzie popped off and got a C, which means was passing. Yeah. And that means she got to have the slumber party with one caveat. Mama says you got to invite all the girls in your class.
Yes. So they invite the
super nerds.
They're the ones that come, right? Especially at the beginning. Like my one of my favorite lines in the book was they talked about the girl that moved from Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, but she has no friends because everybody already had friends.
So mean.
They're like, Alaska girl.
Oh, gosh. That is...
No friends.
That I never had to change school, so I don't know that experience.
Oh, yeah.
But like...
A little.
I remember not helping, but being assigned to kids that had moved schools and like first day friend kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway... But so the nerds come first.
Yep.
One of them brings her knitting, and she's just happy as a clam knitting in the corner.
Yeah, good.
Erica brings a tent to put in the house.
I actually really liked that girl. Cool. I was like, that's a fun thing.
I think it really showed like, first of all, I think that after this they would like Nancy and Lizzie would have been friends with her. Like that would have been the new clique.
Agree. Yeah, exactly. Like they all were like the same kind of like awkward and fun, but like still like they were nice girls. Yeah. And weren't knitting in the corner.
No, they didn't go one step too far. Anywho, but so the party's going on and then finally the cool girls come. Yeah. And they come in, they're late. They walk in and they're like, oh, they're looking around, making judgments.
Staring at the tent.
Like, what is this? Why is that girl yarning? Why is that girl knitting? And then they go and have like their own little party in the corner, like just listening to music. They call Lizzie over and they're dancing, and like Nancy comes in like, hey, let's like do something fun, and her and Eric are like, let's play hide and seek, and like the other girls are just kind of like lame, and so Sam like
that is one. First off, amateur hour from Samantha. If you want to get with your friend's brother,
Yeah.
hide and go seek is how
Is
you
the
do
way.
that.
Yeah.
You dummy.
Yeah. But no, she was just like, this is lame. And so Lizzie kind of blows off Nancy, and
Yeah.
Nancy runs out really upset.
She's like, screw this. I'll take Erica. We're going to go do our own damn thing.
So then the popular girls decide to go sit in Lizzie's room and do makeovers. And there's a girl in there knitting, I think, and she just sits in the corner and doesn't say anything. And they just go about their business. And Sam comes to find out that Adam is not at the house. Adam's at a concert. He's not going to be home. And instantly, the girls are like, oh, we got to go.
We have other places to be.
Yeah. And Lizzie realizes they didn't even bring sleeping bags or anything. They didn't bring anything with
no
them.
intention of staying.
None.
Yeah.
They were just there for that. So they immediately leave. And the rest of the night's kind of fun. Like,
yeah.
I think they play Clue or something. And
yeah. Because one of the girls like had brought Clue.
Yeah.
But Nancy's not there.
Nancy's not there. And Lizzie tries to reach out. Nancy does not respond.
No, she just keeps hanging up on her.
Yes. Which I'm like, good for you.
Yeah,
have you ever hung up
yourself.
on somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About this age in the book,
Yeah.
I was in a fight with my mom when I was out of my grandma's. Absolutely straight hung up on her.
Oh, that's
And,
bold.
I got a talking to for that one. Don't you dare hang up on me. Oh yeah, I've hung up on people. You ever hung up on someone?
I can only think of one time when somebody was trying to call me out on something and I didn't agree.
Yeah.
And then I hung out them. And then my dad gave me the best advice I ever got in my life because I was kind of upset about it. I had a friend, I was in town. It was like we'd just gotten back from college for like the first time. And they were like, I had friends that were like, why don't you ever hang out with us? And they were trying to call me out. Except the girl that was calling me out, I just didn't like care. And I didn't see us as close as friends. And so I was like, whatever. And I got off the phone. I was kind of heated. And my dad's like, who is she? Who is she? And I was like, you're right, Fred. Who is she? And so then I was just like, oh, okay. I don't care. I'm going to go hang out with who I want to hang out with. So anyway, finally, she has a little conversation with Graham.
Yeah.
And Graham gives her some advice of just like, hey, maybe meet somewhere where the atmosphere is better and blah, blah, blah.
Meet Nancy where she's at in some sense.
And I love it because this is a deep-rooted seed in my life, I think, because we find out that Nancy is a birder.
Mm-hmm.
And that has become one of my, not super passions, but a pretend passion where I'm just really into birding culture without actually being a birder.
You do have a thing on your patio, but I think it is mostly for the enjoyment of your cats.
Yes, I have a bird feeder on my patio that I originally got for the cats, but I enjoy just sitting on the couch with the cats, just watching the birds now. So, and now I got a bird book and I identify them and I know some of their calls and I'm like, oh, the morning dove is out. So I should go take a peek, It's getting...
You were pretty close. Do you want me to introduce you to some of the local birding community? I know some of them.
I already joined.
Did you?
Yeah, I joined our national, or not national.
The
I joined
Audubon Society?
Yes, I joined our local club. I get their newsletter now. And
have you gone out?
No, they just stopped doing it for the summer because they take like a 2-month break.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be ready. Yeah, because I'm already planning on like the pants I'm going to get because I need to get some like hiking pants that are safe so I can go into the wilderness. And I already got my fanny pack. I need to get a little vest.
You need binoculars.
And I need binoculars. And again, I have my bird book already. Yeah. So I'm halfway there. So I felt this when like Lizzie went to go see Nancy at this like nature preserve on a Saturday morning. Yeah. And Nancy's the only young person there.
This is basically Kevin at the Rock Club. This is Kevin at the Gem and Mineral Society meetings.
Which I actually went to a gym show with you guys and it was a very vintage crowd.
What? You did not believe us when I said that Kevin is one of like 3 people between the ages of like 15 and 60.
Yeah, it was kind of amazing.
Yeah, it was good. Fun.
So these girls have a little interaction. They kind of come to peace. They have some conversations. They're kind of deciding like, hey, like we both are on different paths.
Yeah.
But we can still walk together.
Yes.
And I loved it because like by this point, Lizzie's wearing lip gloss.
Yeah, she's really
she's really taking it up. And like Nancy asks for some of the lip gloss. So they're just like,
it's a little like a
little olive branch of like
ceremonial, peace ceremony of some sort.
And then we find them again. They're like out riding their bikes. And who do they see? Samantha. And she's taking out the trash and the bag like breaks on her and there's like trash juice that gets on her.
Yeah.
And they're like snickering and they're like, you know what we need to do? We need to figure out a way to get our revenge.
This is the damn cliffhanger that we were left with and it's some bullshit.
I mean, I would
felt
agree.
unsatisfied.
I was like, oh, this does kind of feel like I need to read the next one, but I'm definitely not going to.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yes.
Just based on the feelings it was invoking and the memories it was invoking. I do have to say, it was better than Sweet Valley Twins.
Oh my God, yes. That one was absolute gutter shit.
This one at least had some stuff where like you could take and learn from it, like how to talk to a friend through a hard time.
Yeah.
How to be a good friend. Like,
I agree. There were some moral lessons, and there were like even the like most detestable, with the exception of like Samantha and Candace. The most like Lizzie is not a likable main character.
Yeah,
but she even has her moments.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's a very normal girl.
Yes.
Like I could relate because I was not a nice girl, and sometimes it's hard when you don't see yourself reflected. And it's like I'm not the mean girl in the story, but I'm not the one that's like. The nice girl. I'm the in-between girl.
I can relate to her like desire to like be this sophisticate, even though she's not.
Yeah.
And like, because I feel like that's been at various times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've like, I'm going to buy these things and they are going to reinvent me.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
nope.
You know, it's still fun. That being said, this genre of
it's not your favorite. It's not your genre.
It's not my genre. I don't like this genre.
I appreciate this drama. I think that it's much needed for elementary school girls that are 3rd, 4th, 5th grade to read about 6th, 7th, 8th graders in a way that's not too. I just thought
it's not hypersexual. It's not.
Yeah, it's just very like coming of age in a way that's like realistic in many ways. I just saw this librarian posting like books that kids are asking for, and she's like younger, and they were like Icebreaker, just different things that are like romance with like smutty romance novels from TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, Icebreaker. My friend Erica just read that.
Yeah. But they were like 12. So yeah. So I think that like that's one thing at least I really appreciate from my growing up is that extended adolescence of like, you know, like I played with Barbies until 6th grade and with no shame.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a big deal.
The last year I went trick-or-treating was 9th grade, and I went with my friends from high school. Like they all came over. My mom's rule about it was that if you went trick-or-treating, you had to have a costume. There was no like, and you had to put work into it. So there was no shitty costume. But we all did a group like gods and goddesses costume. We all did togas that were like looked nice, not just like we wrapped ourselves in bed sheets. And we all went out together. So like we did that stuff until like pretty late into my like we played Barbies I think until about 6th grade. I mean, we all had boyfriends, but they were all just like dudes that you occasionally like. I think the first time we ever like played Spin the Bottle was probably 8th grade, which is like the right age.
That's about
7th grade maybe.
I don't know. This was a few months back where I think around the holidays, the end of 2023, there was this big thing on TikTok about all of these really young girls. Like it started as like high school, but then you got all the way down to like middle school, 5th graders that wanted like Drunk Elephant skincare, and they have nails, like they have like acrylics on or dips, and just like like there was just this lack of like you go from childhood to adulthood, and there's not that nice little tween era
where you like paint your own nails like crappily with like with like Sally Hansen.
And that's the expectation, right? That you're a little goofy, a little awkward, and you're not like spending a fortune on a Stanley Cup. And like, I don't know. It's just, I'm just very thankful that we had that little, that pause in time when we were growing up.
Yeah. I think this is like one of these side pieces about like internet culture, and, you know, we were like in the country, so everything kind of came a little bit slower already. Yeah. But you know, the nice thing about the internet is that if you have a niche interest, you can find it. But the bad thing is that it's just so, like constantly there. Like, you should have these things. You should do these things. Like occasionally I go get my nails done. So mostly so my fingers don't look stupid on our like TikTok videos, though they look stupid today. And there are always like some early-ish high school girls in there getting their nails done. And I keep thinking the only time I was ever even considered this was like prom. Yeah. It was like one time a year for the last 2 years of school. And even then I didn't get it done. So I don't know.
It's just, it's a different vibe, like for sure.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm going to rate this 5 lava lamps.
Out of?
One in every color. Just out of lava lamps.
Out of lava lamps.
Like it's fun. It was good. And especially I think like if I had a child at the age I read it, I wouldn't have a problem with them reading it.
Oh yeah.
Like there was nothing like too horrible. There wasn't like fat phobia. There wasn't like racism
Yeah,
You know?
which honestly,
Like-
it's the bar is on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for that, I agree, actually. I wouldn't have any problems with my kids reading. If I had kids, I would not have a problem with them reading this book. That being said, I do not like this genre. It kills
Yeah.
me. And I didn't like it back then either.
Yeah.
I was like reading Swiss Family Robinson and like all the C.S. Lewis books and stuff. I really liked kind of fantasy things.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
I want to be fair to it because I do think you're right about that. I wouldn't have any problems with them reading it. I just personally don't like it. So I'm going to say...
Stressing over.
I'm
here.
really stressing because I want to be fair. And obviously my rating really matters to the publishers
Absolutely
of the world. You know, I'm going to go 3 of 5 ice cream sundaes with Graham.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. It's
That's
like,
really fair.
it's, you know, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't want too many anyway.
Yeah, so it's all
But
good.
3 of 5.
Well, in a stark change, next month, we are diving headfirst into a world that I vaguely remember in Chicken Soup for the Soul,
Yes.
specifically The Horse Lover's Soul, Volume 2.
I think that you should probably say we're not diving head first. We're diving muzzle first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. There's gonna be... I just have to say, we've had a lot of horse girl energy.
Yeah.
Horse girl energy.
And it will continue.
It's gonna continue.
Right on to the sunset. Let's go.
Giddy up.
Yeehaw.
If you're enjoying Boozy Book Reports and would like to support the show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Boozy Book Report, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost. Check out their latest album now. Thank you and happy reading.